Hello and welcome to the Community of Faith Church Online podcast. I hope this message inspires you and encourages you. If you have any questions at all, you can email admin@cofchurches.com. Thank you and have a great day.
Last week, I got intense. Was anybody here last week? Raise your hand. So last week, if you want to go back and hear the message, by all means. I don't think we edited it from the live stream, and I'm okay with that. Although we walked out and my wife said, "Do you know everything that you said?" I was like, why? But I ended with this. It's kind of like, where are the warriors in the body of Christ? Like, where are they at? Where's the grit? Like, every sitcom that's been on for the last however long I've been alive, they paint this picture of the guy being this fumbling joke of a dad. Like, that's not who God called us to be. Like, where are the warriors? Women, you too. I said last week, I'm so thankful for the women. And the women have carried the church. The women were the only one left at Jesus' tomb when the disciples scattered. Like, we're never going to discount women at this church. But where's the warriors? Like, where's the grit? Where's the people that are willing to stand up? And I fear that they're few and far between. So I kind of asked the question of where's the warriors, and I had a couple people that listened out of state, and they called me, and after service, I had people walk up to me, and they go, "Man, I want to be a warrior." And I said, "Do you? Do you?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I think there's this element, it's like, it all sounds good, but do we know what it takes to get there? And the question is, are we willing to do it? So I'm just going to throw this out there. This is not my message tonight. But if that's you, guy, girl, like, if you want to take, like, that next step, here's what I want to encourage you to do. I'm going to give you one assignment. Every day starting today, I want you to take 10 minutes in prayer. Every day. You can't take any days off. Every day, 10 minutes in prayer. Well, I don't know how to pray. Just talk to God. If you know how to talk to God. So 10 minutes every day. And then the other two things I want you to do, I want you to read a chapter of Proverbs every single day. And a chapter starting in Matthew every single day. So that's 2 chapters every single day and 10 minutes of prayer. If you do that for 60 days in a row, come see me. Like, if you're willing to do that, and I'm talking about without missing, then I know you actually have something that you want to go after. So I've thrown that out there to a couple people. And if you miss a day, guess what? You start at day 1 the next day. Like, it's not, oh, I missed a day, I'm still on day 20. No. 60 days in a row. And I know you might think, well, that's legalistic, and listen, I don't care. Like, if you can't go 60 days in a row, like, this is something that we can do. And I just think if we're going to be those warriors, if we're going to have some grit, like, we have to be willing to do things that are uncomfortable. I want you to be uncomfortable. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Christian right now in Afghanistan, you're uncomfortable. And we sit in our comfy seats with our air condition. Like, come on. I mean, let's be warriors. So, I'm looking for him. I really am. Jeff's a warrior. Y'all have no idea. I want to tell you about Jeff, but I'm not going to talk about Jeff. Jeff's on a journey right now. Jeff's a warrior. Jeff's savage. And Jeff will tread where angels are afraid to. He'll walk into the middle of Thailand and not think twice about it. He'll go to where kids are being sex trafficked and not think twice about it. He comes back over here and just thinks, man, what are we doing? And Jeff's in the middle of something right now, in the middle of this fast, and I'm just watching him. Why? Because he's willing to put in the time. He's willing to go through the pain. And I just wonder, are we? So I'm asking you very simply, give me 60 days. You don't have to tell me you're doing it. I don't want to hear from you till you're done. Okay, don't send me an email. Hey, I'm doing it, Pastor Justin. I accept the challenge. No, that's nonsense. I don't want to hear from you unless you actually do something. 60 days, 2 chapters, one in Proverbs, then start in Matthew and start reading. You'll get, in 60 days, you should get to somewhere in Luke. Somewhere in Luke. I don't know where. I didn't do the math out. And then 10 minutes in prayer. When can I pray? While you're driving. While you're in the shower. You just time your showers. Probably good to stay in the shower 10 minutes anyways. Especially in this kind of heat, right? 10 minutes, 2 chapters a day, 60 days. And if you can do that, I'll give you something real to do. Okay? Okay. 2 Chronicles, chapter 26. This is my message for tonight. 2 Chronicles, chapter 26. I want to ask so bad. I'm not going to look up. So listen, I'm not going to look up. But who's going to do it starting tonight? Raise your hand. Okay, put your hand down. Okay. Now, I want you to take note of everybody who raised their hand, and I want you to hold each other accountable. Okay? Because I want you to go after it. If everybody in here raised their hand, I'm going to be busy in 60 days. 2 Chronicles chapter 26, verse 5. It says, he sought God. We're talking about Uzziah. It said he sought God during the days of Zechariah, who instructed him in the fear of the Lord. As long as he sought the Lord, God gave him success. So our sermon is on Wednesday nights. It's Lessons from a King. And so we found a couple weeks ago that Uzziah was one who rebuilds. If you're going to be one who builds or rebuilds something, you better be tough. But then we see something in verse 5, and it says, and he sought God during the days of Zechariah, who instructed him in the fear of God. As long as he sought the Lord, God gave him success. So I think we hear the last part of that, and we immediately just go to, yeah, I seek God, I want success. Listen, I'm so tired of a selfish-driven Christianity. It's about him, not about you, right? Okay. I'm getting off my soapbox right now. But what I love is that Zechariah instructed him. So my question in my notes is, who's instructing you? Who's instructing you? Who are you listening to? Who are you taking advice from? You know, there's a couple things I've learned along the way. When I first got married, I had no clue how to be a husband. She didn't come with a manual. My kids didn't either. They just come out, and then they send me home with it. And I'm like, whoa. I remember they sent us home with Emma. This is almost 14 years ago, and I looked at him and I go, yeah, can we stay one more day? I was like, we're not ready for that. We're not ready yet. It was in Greenville, and I went to the chapel. There's a little chapel there, and I just said, God, I need your help. Man, I don't know what I'm doing. But then I went and found people who had kids that were grown and that loved Jesus, and I said, what did you do? And I just started getting wisdom from them. I went and found marriages where people looked happy. When I sorted through those who were really happy. And I was like, somebody just snorted over here. But I don't know who it is, so you don't have to tell me. But I just went and got wisdom from people who knew how to do it, who had already done it. And the wisdom I gained was valuable. So I can give wisdom a little bit now on raising kids to the point where my kids are at. I can give a little wisdom on a marriage, how to still like your wife and even love her after 19 years. Because I didn't have wisdom, and so who's instructing you, it's very valuable. So I'm going to spend tonight and maybe the next couple weeks talking about the importance of having a mentor. And let me just say this, one mentor doesn't work. There are people that help me in life in certain areas of life. Just because somebody is good in their marriage doesn't mean they can help you with money. Okay? Just because somebody's good with money doesn't mean their kids aren't crazy. there's this balance of it where you're just like, hey, there's wisdom and a multitude of counsel. And so I asked the question, who's instructing you? And if we pause for a minute, then you're instructing yourself. And you're only limited to what you know. I asked somebody, one of my mentors, I asked him, I said, who's mentoring you? And he got real emotional on me. And I was like, why is this an emotional question? And he said, everybody who mentored me is dead. Like, there comes a point where it's like, but as I look around this room, there's only a few of you that probably have lived long enough you don't need a mentor. And really, I can't even identify any of you. You're all young enough to still need a mentor. There's things you haven't navigated through or you went through. But who's instructing you? I love that Uzziah, man, he had a great run. But he was instructed by Zechariah. So I want to go through, I've been reading the book of Proverbs in my personal time. I've been reading the book of Proverbs for a while now. And I just started over. Like every month, I kind of just started over. And I do miss days when I'm reading it like this. But whatever day it is, that's what chapter I read in Proverbs. I love the book of Proverbs. I had a young person ask me last week, why do you make me read Proverbs? Because you need wisdom. You need wisdom. So I say, who's instructing you? And I want to just read through a whole bunch of verses. So sound booth, we're going to start in Proverbs chapter 1. And I'm going to go down that list there. So my notes are irrelevant at this point. Because we ask the question of, why do I need somebody to instruct me? Why do I need somebody to be a mentor? Why do I need help in life? It blows my mind when people just look at me and they're like, no, we got this. Somebody comes in and they want advice or they want wisdom or they want counsel, then they hear something they don't want and they leave. And they don't do anything. Listen, I'm a huge fan of this. Please don't waste my time. If you think you know better already, don't waste my time and don't waste other people's time. Like, if you're going to be instructed and you're going to be a follower of Jesus Christ, like, be humble enough to get some wisdom and actually listen. I've made decisions I personally didn't like that a mentor helped me make, and it saved me years of headache. But I would have made a horrible decision. So I just want to go through and we go, why do we need this? Why is this important? Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs chapter 1. Let me get there. Oh, I love the book of Proverbs. If you're new tonight, maybe you needed this. Proverbs, I'm really done apologizing. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. If you are one that rejects wisdom and instruction, if you're one that does that, I'm not calling you anything. I just want to read verse 7 again. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. I've seen it 100 times. No, that's an exaggeration. I don't want to exaggerate. I've seen it at least 20. Somebody comes in and talks to Keith about finances after Christmas. And it's coming after Christmas, right? Tax money. And he tries to instruct them. Hey, it would be very wise to do this, this, and this. Only for them to leave and they've never seen him again at our church. Like, this isn't to bring condemnation. It's for us to get really wise. It's for us to get smarter. It's for us to grow in wisdom and understanding. What is wisdom? It's knowing what to do with knowledge. You can read all the books in the world. You can be the smartest person on the planet, but if you don't have wisdom to know what to do with it, you're dead in the water. Proverbs chapter 29. It's just going to be a steady diet of Proverbs tonight. Proverbs chapter 29. If you're not highlighting these, you should. Fools give, verse 11, 29:11. Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. You lose your temper? Like, how you doing with that one? I mean in your house when the doors are closed and nobody's around except your family. Is your family gun shy? Fly off the handle easy? You're not wise. Listen, church, I struggle with this. Like, absolutely. But I get around people who are calm, who can help me, who can walk me through it. Have you ever said anything edifying when you were angry? I love you so much. Like, that seldom comes out, right? Foolishness is on full display when we lose our temper. It doesn't bring edification to anyone around, and it makes you look stupid. Why do we need wisdom? I'm tired of us looking stupid. I'm tired of us dealing with the same things over and over and over again. Proverbs chapter 18. Like, move quick, Pastor. Move quick. Come on. Don't stay in one place too long. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. Oh, conservative Facebook is a joke. Are you kidding me? Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you need to let the world know it. It makes us look foolish. That's where I witnessed. And you need to find a new witnessing ground. I say this to people. Have an opinion. It's totally fine. Just don't be opinionated. Have an opinion. Don't be opinionated. Why? It makes us look foolish. Just so you know, I have no idea what you put on Facebook before church. And I won't know. If somebody even comes up and tells me, and they'll be like, hey, I got to show you this is on Facebook. I don't want to see it. And sometimes, somebody even told me one time, they go, but it's about you. I said, I don't want to see it. No, but you don't understand. They made a video, and they're trashing you in it. No, I don't want to see it. That'll take care of itself. Proverbs chapter 19. Everybody say, I'm okay. Verse 3, a person's own folly leads to their ruin, yet their hearts rage against the Lord. You ever find people who just doesn't seem life ever goes their way, and they blame everybody else around them, and they blame God? He's a natural target too. Do you notice even when Adam sinned, the very first sin, he looked at God and he said, God, the woman you gave me, you're blaming God for this, Adam? For real? Like, our hearts rage against God. Proverbs chapter 28. Verse 26. Why am I reading you all these? Because I want you to get a mentor. I want you to get a mentor. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 26. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe. Those who think they know better for their own life are fools. Those who manage their family without God's wisdom are fools. Those who try to have a successful marriage without God are fools. Those who don't manage the money without God are fools. Why do we think we know better? Seth. No, you're fine. You can sit there. I'm just going to talk about you. Seth came to me a couple months ago and he said, hey, I need a mentor. I was like, yes, you do. And not your mom or dad. Like, they're amazing, but let them be mom and dad. You know what amazes me? Penny, maybe I'm crazy, but I'll tell Emma something, and then Megan Schatz will tell her the exact same thing, and she'll think it's brilliant. I'm like, I told you that. She didn't listen to me. She's like, Dad, listen to what Megan said. I was like, I've been telling you that since you were born. Anyways, so Seth, he came to me and he's like, hey, I need a mentor. He goes, can you recommend anybody? And I said, hey, give me a minute to pray. And so I took a couple days and I called somebody who I thought might be a good mentor for him. And I said, hey, what about this? Try it. Because it doesn't always work. Like, you don't always mesh there. And so, and how long you been meeting with him now? 3 months. They meet like every other week. Like, there's a young man that knows the road ahead of him is unknown to him. He needs wisdom. He needs counsel. Grew up in a good home, their mom and dad. But he sought it out, and he didn't just talk about it. He actually went and did it. Like, that's what we need to do. And as I look around this room, I see there's so much diversity in this room. Listen, it's unbelievable to me that we're just Dave Summers, Bon Ray, Paul Brubaker, Jeremy Woodall. Like, if you don't know these people and haven't made a point to get to know them, I mean, I see the Tudors and the Peter. Like, I just look around and I'm like, these people are amazing. I mean, Joe and Lisa, you're stinking awesome. Like, they have so much to pour in. Fools don't ask. Be wise. Like, this is the importance of mentors so that we can navigate through this life way better. I have so many more verses I want to read, like literally 17. It's early. Don't laugh. Proverbs 12. We'll read a couple more. 12, verse 15. I'll read them up here because they're quick. The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. Proverbs 14:16. The wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed and yet feels secure. Proverbs 26:11. This is my favorite one. As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. At some point, we just got to get tired of making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. If you'll go get wisdom, you'll quit doing that. If you go get wisdom, you'll break the cycle. Proverbs 15:2 says this: the tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. And controlling our tongue is a huge part of wisdom. Most people look intelligent until they speak. So my encouragement is this. It's real simple. It's 8 o'clock. Gain wisdom. Gain understanding. And so next week I'm going to talk about finding a mentor. I had somebody walk up to me, and I'm going to close with this story. I had somebody walk up to me 2 weeks ago, and they said, Pastor Justin, I hear you talk about your mentors. How do you find them? I dream big with mentors. I don't care what stage they're on. I don't care what platform they're on. If I see somebody and I want them to mentor me, I hunt them down. And I don't tell them, I don't ask them, hey, will you be my mentor? I do not do that. But I ask them, I say, hey, can I take you to coffee? One guy said, hey, here's the number to my assistant. Get a hold of her. We'll have coffee. I said, okay. I waited for 9 months. I'd call every month. Hey, is he good for coffee? Hey, can we do coffee? Put it on the calendar twice, canceled. And one day we got to sit down and have coffee. And I'm telling you, 30 minutes changed a lot of the way I think and the way I do things. 30 minutes with somebody who's wise is better than thousands of hours with somebody who's not. Like, you got to go after it. And here's what I always put on my mentors. If somebody is mentoring me, they have zero responsibility. They have zero. I don't get offended if they don't check on me. It's my job to check in with them. I don't put anything on them. There is zero responsibility other than I have the opportunity to check in with them. I can ask them questions, but I'm not going to blame them or whine because they didn't reach out to me. They don't care about me. No, they're busy doing other things. I'm the one asking for their time and advice. So I'm not going to get my feelings hurt in this matter because I want them to mentor me because they have something I need. So, we're going to talk about this more next week. Are we tough? Can we handle it?
Thank you for listening to the Community of Faith Church Online podcast. If you have any questions at all, you can email admin@cofchurches.com. And if you're new with us today and looking for the next step, go to cofchurches.com/getconnected. And finally, if you feel led to give, go to cofchurches.com/give or click the Give button on the COF app. Thank you and have a wonderful day.